Yeah, Altered Beast. I've heard of this game before, but never played it. It's supposedly one of the best Genesis games and held in high regards from what I know. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to beat every game on the Nintendo Switch Online subscription pass. The goal is to see how well these games hold up and if they're worth playing. So there's a lot of legendary Genesis games here, but today we're tackling Altered Beast on the Sega Genesis. I've always wanted to see what the buzz was about, as this game kind of had high ratings for the time. Altered Beast was developed in-house by Sega and released in 1988. Damn! I wonder how many of my watchers were alive back then, Jesus. There was a more recent remake in 2005 on the PS2, which I'd actually like to check out someday, as it is one of my favorite consoles of all time. Moving on. I boot up the game, and this little graphic shows up. A man getting bit by a mythical beast, the head of Zeus, I'm assuming, this armless dude in front of him, and a little demon grabbing onto this woman. And yeah, that's pretty much all the story you're going to get off of this screen. There might be more in the instruction manual, but Nintendo doesn't give us any of those with these emulators. And even the demos don't show much either. So alright, press start and...
Rise from your grave.
Yeah, this is an iconic line. Like I said, I never played this game, but there are some things that are just well known in the video game universe. The text reads, "I command you to rise from your grave and rescue my daughter." Cue this buff dude in pink tights. Alright. Punch and kick. Okay, cool. That's all you get. It's a beat 'em up and an early one, so I didn't expect much, but we do get powers from these blue double-headed dogs. These power-ups make you go shirtless and slightly buffer. This was a little odd to me, but keep in mind this was from the 80s. Buff, powerful bodybuilders were all over the entertainment industry, and this was pretty appropriate for the time period. Besides, it's a mythological game, so it makes sense that— oh my god, what the f— this dude just got extremely massive, and now he's only wearing a Speedo, and his head didn't grow. It looks super tiny on his huge-ass body. Tiny head. Alright, I don't know what to think of this, but at least the kicks and punches have much more range with this extra blue hitbox here that lingers. Cool. Okay, I guess I can work with this, and wait. What is this? That, my friends, is a furry. From the 80s. Damn, he's pretty massive too. So this is the gimmick of the game. You transform into these mythological beasts when you're powered up, and that's when you fight this dude here who also transforms into, I don't know, some kind of demon. This is a level 1 boss, however, and he shoots out his own head as projectiles. How metal is that? And they rain down in a certain pattern. Your attacks are now a fireball type of thing and a blazing kick, I'll call it. I did lose a life, but I found it fairly simple. Just avoid the heads and shoot the demon or destroy the heads with a kick. Simple. Level 1 boss defeated. A portal opens up, and who I believe is Hades robs you of your power orbs, reducing you to a man again. We jump right into that portal with him to chase him down and save the Dane. Next, this little artwork displays. It shows Hades gripping Zeus's daughter with a sword or something. Looks pretty evil and menacing. It's actually good pixel art. Level 2 begins, and we're in some type of cave or underground. These little T-Rex head enemies show up, and it cracks me up. It reminds me of like some type of dog. I originally thought they were good guys, but alas, I had to kick the shit out of them to move forward. Then there's these rattlesnake tails that pop out of the ground. If you don't kick those, they turn into dragons, which can still be defeated. More dogs and another power-up. So I didn't know this at the time, but you're supposed to destroy all these blue demon dogs and collect the power orbs in order to progress. If you miss one like I had here, you'll still meet up with Hades, but since you're not an altered beast, he just kind of leaves and then you have to progress through the level even further. Luckily, right after this checkpoint, they do give you another blue dog to kill, and I was able to transform into a dragon. Now this dragon has 2 attacks, shooting a laser and having a shockwave of electricity around him, which kills enemies who come into contact with it. Honestly, if the laser was thicker or wider, I'd probably say it was a better weapon, but it's super small, so it's actually much better to get closer to the enemies and shock them. I reached Hades again, and this time he turned into a watermelon with shooting eyeballs. He kind of reminds me of Shumagorath from the Street Fighter series. I don't know if anybody else sees that. Anyways, I tried using lasers and dodging his attacks, but it just wasn't working. The laser is too small and the rate of fire is abysmal. I lost my life here and got my first game over. Alright, that's not so bad. I got a handle on the game, so let's just run through the whole thing again and crush it this time. So I got to the level 1 checkpoint again, but this time I didn't have all the power-ups, so Hades dipped and I had to keep going through the level. I was already off to a bad start here. I did end up getting my last power orb and crushing these enemies from a distance with these fireballs, and now I realize these would be really OP during the levels, so it makes sense that they give you the boss pretty soon after. I defeated the boss, but I had 0 lives already and just 2 hit points left. I don't think I'm going to beat it this time around, but I can learn about the level if I just keep going, so I did. And here's where the grind of old video games occur. They all make you repeat the same sections over and over again until you're proficient at them. And usually that's kind of tedious, but there's something about this game. Despite it being so old and wonky, it's actually really fun to just walk around kicking the shit out of everything. I know that's a product of the beat 'em up genre, but yeah, man, I've gone back in time with this one and I'm honestly enjoying it. I can picture kids in the late 80s sitting in a dark room, plugging in their Sega, loading in Altered Beast, and just trying to beat it. This is in a way that's impossible to imagine someone doing with current gen games. Also, let's talk about the music. These tracks slap, dog. Holy shit. They've created some type of Conan the Barbarian type of music.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women.
To hear the lamentation of the women. I love that line. That movie's super boring, but it's a good line. And I think it's only because it's coming from a dude with like such a deep German accent. Otherwise, it wouldn't be as good as it is. But it's really Greek mythology sounding, Homer's Odyssey type music, and it really ties the world together. Without this type of music, this would honestly feel pretty lame. There's something about the simplicity of this type of technology that just makes the overall experience kind of unique. It's like they did so much with so little, and I don't know, it's a time capsule for video games, and I'm actually having fun. So the second level, I ended up hitting the first checkpoint with the dragon, and I was able to fight the boss here early. I tried the same tactic of shooting lasers, but I found shocking the eyeballs kind of froze the projectiles for a second, and that gave me the idea of just going up to the eyeball and spamming this attack. And that worked. I found an exploit that defeated this enemy pretty easily. Again, Hades appears, takes your power orbs, and we chase after him. Another graphic, this time it's of Hades in front of a boiling cauldron and Zeus's daughter on a crucifix? This game is really charming. Level 3. Okay, now we're in some caves. And we have these new enemies that run pretty fast at you, but a quick kick gets them out of here. And like in all old games, here's where the unfair mechanics come into play. I get trolled by these enemies running from behind and I game over again. I guess I'll watch out for those the next time around. Third run. I had already lost a life before the boss, so I just decided to reset the game. Fourth run. First level, I still had 2 lives and 1 health bar left. Good enough. Second level ended with 1 life and 3 health bars left. Third level. Okay, we got plenty to work with now. I dodged these wasps that took my life the last time, and now what? There's absolutely no way to get over this pit. I see the platforms, but my jump height doesn't reach that. So I tried jumping over the pit instead, and I died. Oh, now I'm on top? What? That's absolutely unfair. Am I just destined to die here in order to get to the top platforms? There's this one here, so yeah, I'm just supposed to die? That's stupid. Okay, I'm hating this game now. I hit the first checkpoint and still hadn't transformed yet, but at least I learned this Tatsumaki here. Cool. I proceeded through the level and I get reamed by this running wasp. That's hella unfair. Now I've got to start from the very beginning again. It's gonna take me so long to get here. Alright, whatever. Level 1. Discover the best move to use overall is the kick. It has way more distance than the punch and I don't know, it feels stronger. Beat this level with 2 lives and 2 health bars. Not bad. Level 2. 2 lives and 2 health bars left. 1 being red, but hey, that's great. I'll take it. Level 3. Still died to this pit. And got bombarded by BS here. Okay, down to 0 lives. First checkpoint. Didn't pass. No good, but finally got the last orb. And I'm a bear. Look, he's a grizzly blowing ice or something. That's hilarious. His second attack is sort of a screwball attack, kind of like Samus from Metroid or Smash Bros. Well, without the electricity. And the Ice Blast is definitely better. Okay, past the second checkpoint here, and the boss is some type of coral dragon thing that shoots... God damn it, bro. Level 1, done with 2 lives and 2 bars. Level 2, figured out how to absolutely cheese this boss and ended with 2 lives and 1 health bar. Level 3, I died right before I got to the pit and I panicked. I didn't want to lose another life. I just lost this one and this one is at full health. And in my panic, I must have accidentally held up and jumped and realized I have a much higher jump height. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I didn't know that. Jesus, so I could have literally not lost my life here? I'm so stupid. Maybe I should look up the manuals before starting these games. Well, anyways, this time around, I'm finally going to see what this boss does. Okay, so I didn't learn much. I'll save you the bore of all the details and just tell you I had pretty much mastered the previous levels. I finally got to the level 3 boss with 2 lives and 2 bars, a huge improvement. But also because I learned I could jump higher in level 3 and not lose a life automatically. So, I finally got to see this pattern in action and how to counterattack it. All of this was a learning curve as it wasn't obvious I was supposed to use the screw attack jump to damage it. But I did end up using the attack and I took him down to 0 health eventually and took it down without actually losing a life. Once I learned the pattern, this boss was actually extremely easy. Unfortunate that I didn't get to watch this earlier. Hades once again takes my power orbs, we chase him, and a new graphic shows up. Feels like forever. Alright, it's the girl and a bird. Wait, what? Okay, let's just believe things are getting worse. Level 4, things were picking up. More enemies and these damn demons that fall from the sky hit you. Level 1 had something like these too, but these are really obnoxious. These sections had like 3 enemies who would just barrage you and you had no choice but to take a hit. It's a bit unfair, but that it is what it is. I, however, got extremely lucky and picked up all the blue orbs before the first checkpoint, turning me into a Tiger Man. And this Tiger Man shoots 1 fireball and a blazing kick, but upwards. So yeah. Anyway, since I had the transformation, I was able to fight the boss on the first checkpoint. It is so important to grab the power-ups early. You do not want to keep risking losing more health or more lives by missing those first checkpoints. Now this boss was a little dragon with a red orb on its tummy. It floats up and down, shoots its own fireballs, and drops many dragons on you who sporadically home in on you. They knocked me out quickly, but I did get to learn the pattern, so I figured the next time around wouldn't be so hard. God damn. I've gotten so far. This is exhausting. This game is super charming and somehow still fun to play, but I am getting pretty tired of having to do this entire adventure just to get to where I was. How we did it without save features in the past is kinda nutty. Now, I was a lot more skilled. I understood the mechanics and the physics. I died in level 3. I'm not playing this anymore.
1 hour later.
So after eating dinner, I decided to try this again, and Nintendo Online decides to show me this hint here. I can rewind on the spot to literally seconds earlier. The game wants me to cheat. Damn you, Nintendo, I wanted to do this legit. Now you made it easier to cheat. Well, I ain't doing it. I want to feel like I earned it. Besides, how lame would it be to just rewind seconds ago? Nah, dog, we're running it raw. I reached level 4 again with 2 lives and 1 health bar. Awesome. I did the Lisa Simpson strat and kicked my way to the boss. Finally, 1 life and 3 bars, and I knew the basic pattern. This was it. I was going to beat him here. And damn, this boss has a shit ton of HP. This fight probably took the longest out of all of them, but I beat it with 0 lives and 2 health bars left. Hades takes my orbs, we chase him, new graphic, and it's Hades with a bird. Oh, I get it. Okay, so he turned her into a bird. Wait, why the fuck did he turn her into a bird? For what? Why not just like kill her or something? What's the point? Level 5. This looks awesome. I love the color scheme. Neon pink and neon green are so good together. God damn it. I did so well. I got to the level 4 boss and defeated them with 2 lives and 1 health bar. I had to beat the next level now. I don't want to keep grinding the same thing over and over again. Level 5. So this level is pretty tough with new enemies and new enemy movements being thrown at you pretty quickly. Luckily, the checkpoint is pretty early on and I got extremely lucky by grabbing all the orbs early on. I mean, this was just straight up luck here. Hades looks at me and turns into a rhino man. Wonder what his pattern is. Wait, what? I beat him? Okay, shit, I'll take it. This bird comes out and then lands as Zeus's daughter. All right, cool. We got our final graphic of ourselves as a really buff furry and Zeus's daughter. I guess we end up together. That was unexpected, but awesome. All right, cool. Roll credits. Hey, this wasn't so bad. I actually enjoyed this. Honestly, it felt simple, a little primitive, but just seems like a relic of the past. But it's done really well. It doesn't try too hard to do what it does, and yeah, a game from 1988. Yeah, it's still fun if you allow it to charm you. Wait, push any key to start the next rounds. Damn, well, I already beat it once. I guess it's a hard mode with the true ending, maybe? I don't know, should I? How about this? I'll beat it, but I'll use the rewind feature, since I already beat it with my goal in mind, right? I mean, as much as I want to do this challenge all over again, you know, just consider this a bonus. And so it definitely is harder. A lot more enemies and a little smarter AI. The bosses in particular are harder, with so much more attack and health points. For example, the first boss has about 6 heads that he shoots out instead of the previous 4. About the only thing that remained the same was my own power and health points. Fair, right? But I mean, once you're playing with the rewind feature, it's really easy. It absolutely ruins the challenge of this game. It's still fun, but it's definitely different. Anyways, beat this game again and hoped I would get a new ending. And no, just another harder mode? Yeah, one more harder mode. And it's definitely harder. For example, 8 heads shoot out this time instead of 6. But I did find an exploit here, so it's not so bad. So I assume there has to be a good or better ending, right? I mean, this can't be for nothing. I literally spent half an hour with rewind, so that's another half an hour going down the drain if nothing is here. So let me skip ahead to where I beat the final boss, and it's the same thing? What the hell, Sega? Oh man, I'm really glad I beat this harder mode with save states and rewinds instead of legit. That would have made me upset if I beat it legit and got the same ending. I guess it's here in case it's your only game. I can only imagine how long it would take to beat this legit back to back in the 80s, so being able to replay it and still have a challenge had its merits back then. But it's 2022 and I've got shit to do. But yeah, that was fun. I really didn't expect that out of this game, but there we go. I'll give this a nice solid 7 out of 10. It's a nice little charming game. I don't think you would dislike it if you gave it a chance. And I mean, it's a really important part of the Genesis history. It is one of the most widely recognized games for that console, and you legitimately have a bit of history built inside the Nintendo Online subscription. I would honestly say, take a look into the past of what video games were, and honestly, I know you'll have a good time with it. And I guess that's it. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.